your indigenous name?
My indigenous name is Kihiwasis Tutapu Oswal Imstatimwak.
And that means?
Eagle child who rides a yellow horse.
How long have you been dancing?
This is my second year of dancing.
Yep. What made you decide, because you're not a young man compared
No.
to some of the little ones that get started,
Mm-hmm.
what made you decide to follow your cultural traditional path?
Well, we had our first powwows here in Sucker Creek in 2013 to 17. And that was the first time I ever seen powwow. And we just moved here, so everything was pretty new. And I had watched powwow, and I knew I wanted to dance. But I waited a long time before dancing just for everything to come together as far as regalia and all that stuff. Because it's not easy to find out. It's not easy to talk to people and learn. And at the time, it wasn't. And then last year, it just happened to be that I had every piece I needed come together, and I decided to dance. And then this year I've been blessed with a whole slew of regalia, and I've been just dancing this year. So
let's talk about regalia a little bit.
Okay. I think just the basics. If somebody was to just get out there and dance, you need to get some print or some kind of cloth and make a breechcloth. So that's covering the front. I have it there in my bag, but it's a breechcloth, and it just covers the front, covers the back for a young man, right? A shirt of some kind. It could be just somehow match. It just has to be a button shirt or whatever you got. And I guess depending on what the dancer, this young person's going to dance, because if they dance traditional like I do, they're going to need like a vest. You make a vest out of some cotton stuff, or pick up one, or whatever you can do to make a vest, and they can start dancing. Get a headband or something, and then you start dancing as a young person, right? Because you don't need a lot to start out with, and people will give you things as you go along, or you'll find them, or trade. There's a lot of trade that happens between people, and you end up making friends who will give you things, and then you'll end up giving things away, and it just continues on, right? A lot of people help each other when you first start, and it's pretty cool.
It's very much the traditional indigenous way, to be gifting forward.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have something that you can, and you like, I guess a good example would be, I had just gotten this otter ring that I carried at the powwow this year for the first time, and it was just a loop of otter fur wrapped, and I got it from a friend of mine who's been dancing for a while. And then I was at Sturgeon Lake powwow, and I seen a young man who was dancing chicken, and he was his first time powwowing. He'd never been to a powwow before, and I watched him dance, and I thought to myself, well, this would be good for him because he's a chicken dancer. So I went and gifted it to him to start him on his journey, right? And it just keeps cycling back and forth, I guess.
So you mentioned the term chicken dance.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of different dances.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about those dances and explain the style.
Okay. So in men's, we have, do you want me to stick with men's?
Yeah, we'll stick with men's.
Okay.
I've got a lady dancer.
Okay. So in the men's styles, you start usually with men's grass, and that's usually the first dance that they start with. And the grass dance, from my understanding, is they actually go out and they make camp, so they stomp the grass down, and that's why they move the way they do, because they're stomping the grass flat for camp. The other thing I understand about it is that you're supposed to imitate the grass on the prairies, and that's how they got to move smooth like that, right? And nice and smooth. So that's the grass dance. Then we have men's chicken dance. So that's the original story is that a hunter was out hunting, and he shot a chicken on the prairies, and and they went home and they ate the chicken and stuff and fed his family. And this chicken came to him in his dream world and said, "Why did you shoot me when I was doing my dance? I was calling for a mate," right? And so this man said, well, I had to eat, I had to feed my family, and you were there, so. And so he said, well, since you interrupted my dance, you need to teach this dance, and I'm going to teach you, and you need to share it with other people so to honor me in a way, right? And so that's where the chicken dance originates from, is what I've heard. And it's a very cocky, you got to be pretty cool to dance a chicken dance, yeah.
You strut your stuff quite a bit.
Oh, yes, yeah, you got to strut for sure, yeah.
And what's the next dance?
We have men's traditional, and that's the oldest dance in men's style. It goes back to a long time ago, and we're the feather carriers for the people, so that's why we wear our bustles, and they're all eagle feathers. We carry our eagle fans. We have eagle feathers everywhere, and we carry them for the people. And we're the storytellers, the warriors, and we're dancing to retell stories, and that's what we do, of hunting or fighting, war, and that's the dances we do.
So every dance tells a story
Yeah.
of someone or a situation?
Essentially, it's about war or fighting or warring or scouting, hunting, that sort of thing. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So like our sneak up is us scouting, and we're down in our sneak up, and we're kind of coming, like walking and watching and fighting, and at the end we have a victory portion where it's like they're running away, like our enemy, we've overtaken our enemy, and then we do a victory style, like that's our last part of the song. There's a couple more, I don't know. We just have a straight, which is just a normal song, and it's just a retelling, and we kind of just dance. I don't know a lot about the straight. We have crow hop, which comes from, I don't know where it comes from, but it's a horse stealing dance.
Okay.
So it's telling stories of horse theft and sneaking and that kind of thing. It's also, you think about the crows, how they walk and they hop along, right? Surprisingly, it does not come from the Crow Nation, though. The crow hop does not come from the south. And then we have a duck and dive. It's a veterans dance. So it's to honor veterans and warriors, right? So.
Now, when you're dancing, drums play an enormous role in the dance.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that relationship between the dancer and the drum.
We're actually fighting the drum when we dance. We're competing against it. So, because they're trying to, it's almost like a competition between us, right? So I'm trying to stay on beat with the drum the whole time, but then they'll throw little tricks in where they'll stop, and then they'll continue. Or they'll stop abruptly so that we get what's called bucked off, as it were, right? So we'll be dancing along, and if you get bucked off, it knocks off points, right? So we're actually competing between the drum and the dancer in a powwow.
And yet they complement each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those relationships that's contentious a little bit, and yet without the other, nothing
It's
works.
fun. It's supposed to be fun, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as you're dancing, what inspires you? What goes through your mind, your body? How does that relate when it comes to dancing and your regalia? Like, how do you just lose yourself in the dance?
Kind of, yeah. I think about what I'm doing, obviously, but it's prayer for me. It's ceremony, right? And it's always been like that. So I dance, and you listen to the song, because you got to pay attention to the song. You got to know what starts happening, or because there's 4 starts to every song, and you got to know that what you're doing, right? But at the same time, you're dancing for the people, and you want to dance hard, and you want them to see you and dancing hard for them, because if they can't, right, or if they don't know how or whatever, it's to inspire other people, right? And that's why we dance to begin with, is to inspire.
So dancing is an inspiration and a storytelling method.
Yeah.
When you're getting ready for a powwow, what is your process?
Well, it depends on how far I've traveled. But if I went quite a ways and I travel, I'll usually try to get there on Friday, sometime during the day. Get camp set up. That's the first thing. You want your bed set up, because we dance so late. You want to get set up so you can just take your stuff off and go to bed. But typically I'll arrive there on a Friday. I know grand entry's at 7 o'clock, so I'll get there and hang around a little bit after camp set up and wait around, get ready. And then I'll spend some time getting ready at first. Just because I know there's a lot of things that I got to put on, and I got to put them on a certain way and keep them there, right? And then Friday night, 7 o'clock rolls around. I'll smudge before I leave home, or, well, camp. And there's a few other things I do just for myself that I do before I go. And then I'll go dance from 7 o'clock that night, and I'll dance intertribals and dance whatever I need to dance that night. And then usually I won't dance till late at night, like 1:30 in the morning, because I'm a junior man. So it takes a while to get to your category, unless you're at a traditional powwow. And then we're all together. But yeah, and the process for just getting ready is just relaxing and drinking water and just being hydrated. I don't eat a lot when I dance at powwow. But yeah, just getting ready to dance is just relaxing and learning how to not walk around all the time. Yeah, so.
So
Yeah.
explain to me how the classes of dancers work.
Okay, so we start off with tiny tots. That's little kids. They're little up to 5 years old, I think. We have tiny tots, and then we have golden agers who dance. So that's, I believe it's 60 and above, I want to say, for golden age. Anybody 60 and above. And you have buckskin dancers as well, and they're a class all on their own. And there's young and old, and not young, but older men usually dance buckskin dance. And then your categories, you have juniors, which is 5 to, I think, 12 or 13. You have teens. And then we have senior men's, seniors. So that's your, I think they're 36 to that golden age number. And then we have juniors, 18 to 30, 35 as juniors. And that's it. And some powwows do it differently. Like some I might be a senior, others it just depends on the powwow.
Every powwow operates a little bit differently.
Not very many. There's only one or two that I've seen where it's different age groups, but not many.
Okay, so everything's fairly standardized,
Yep.
and everybody gets the opportunity to come in at their level.
Yep.
In their regalia. Now, let's go back to regalia, because we touched a little tiny bit on it, but the regalia must be very, very personal. I would expect that every piece of regalia, whether it's gifted to you, whether you've made it, whether you've sourced it somewhere else, must tell part of the story.
Yeah. So you just wear what, I guess, what suits you in a way, to what your style is and what you're kind of like. There's a lot of different styles of dancing, like even headdresses and stuff that comes down to your own kind of personal style or what you've been given. And like I wear a roach. I don't know where my roach is at. This is my roach, yeah. So I wear a roach just for now. I want to wear a feather hat is what I want to wear, but I've been waiting for one to come to me, right? I just feel like it's more my style than a roach. But for now, that's good, and it's perfect.
And the roach is made up of?
Porcupine hair.
Porcupine hair.
Yeah, and deer hair. Porcupine hair and deer hair and yarn. Actually, it's a yarn base.
And what's the symbolism behind that?
It's just a headdress. Yeah, and porcupines they guard, right? So their guard hairs is what they lift, and those are what we make the hair from. So it takes a lot of time and effort to build a roach, and normally people just would rather buy them because of the effort it takes to actually make one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your bustle.
Yeah.
It's all eagle feathers.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the unique colors in your bustle.
Yeah.
It seems like different powwows that I've been to where I've watched people dancing, the bustle and the colors seem to be very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So
about that?
yeah, some people they You can pick your colors. A lot of people go to ceremony to ask for their colors. And usually it has to do with your name and who you are as a person and what your kind of flavor is, I guess, in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wear a lot of yellow and red. That's my main colors in my outfit. And then I base everything off of that with black and white, yellow, or black and white. So I kind of mix all those colors together to make what's works.
Well,
Yeah.
black, white, red, and yellow are all part of the medicine wheel.
The Sioux medicine wheel, yeah. Yeah, not our Cree one, but
Now, when you're dancing from one indigenous culture to the next, and by that I mean whether you're Anishinaabe or you're Cree or
yeah.
you're Sioux, are there major differences in your dances?
Not overly. Different styles of regalia a lot. I've seen a lot of Eastern woodland wear different styles, and then some guys from the South, they had different styles, but they're all pretty standard. Like what we wear is, a lot of people wear the same thing, but in their own style, in their own fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll all have a bustle, but the bustle may...
Different sizes, big, small, little, big, like it's all over.
And so
Yeah.
it's all more about
Yeah.
the individual dancer
Yeah.
and what you're representing.
And your expression, yeah, because it's art, right? It's still art, just as much as anything else. Like I've made a lot of my own regalia, and I like to make it because it's fun, and it's my artistic, I guess, expression, as it were.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've taken some photos of some of your regalia, but would you mind picking up, like your fan and explain to us the pieces that go into making it?
Yeah. Well, this is an eagle fan. So this is actually a golden, or I think this is a golden, and it's actually a wing. It's a part of a wing from an eagle, and then you just sew a handle on, right? But this all gets put together. I didn't actually make this one. I've only made one other one. But yeah, it's just a fan that we carry in our hand when we dance. But yeah, this is, and then it's just a buckskin wrap on the handle so you can hold on to it.
Right.
And you're not just holding on to the feathers, right?
Right.
Some people use super hot glue and stuff in there just to make it like a bulkier grip so you get a good grip on it.
Right.
Yeah, because you don't want to drop feathers, right?
No.
No, so that's just my fan.
And the symbol of the eagle. Now, indigenous culture tells us many things about what the eagle represents. What does the eagle represent to a dancer?
Well, he flies highest, and he's our direct, like, he's a messenger for us, right? He's the one that brought messages to the Creator. And that's why we revere him so much, is because he's the closest, right? He flies the highest, and he flies with strength, right? And so for us, that's why we honor the eagle so much, right?
In your regalia, you also use things like bone. So if I might,
Yeah.
could you...
Yeah. So I carry, well, I guess I should show. This is plastic, of course, but we do make them out of bone as well. This is my breastplate. This has been a long time. They've worn these since I don't even know how long. It's forever. But it's not actual armor. It's a spiritual thing. Yeah. Then I wear an elk tooth necklace. This is just something I picked up somewhere. I can't even remember. But I really liked it, so I wear it. A lot of people have elk teeth. Another one is my sash. So this is just a sash, like a bandolier that I wear. I actually got this made for me from a friend. And elk teeth again and stuff. This stuff I carry.
Now, what is this?
This is my staff. This is what I carry in my hand for when I'm dancing. It's actually a horse staff. Because of course I have a horse name, and so I carry the horse staff. And this is all palomino hair. This is actual horse hair. It's been tied in. And these are just the weasels that I carry. And I have weasels on other things as well.
And the symbolism of the otter and the weasel and some of the other animal pelts that you use. Can you explain some of that?
Yeah, the ermine is something that we carry because it carries power for protection. And also, the ermine is a sneaky killer. That's why we wear his furs, right? So he's sneaky and he kills stealthily. And that's why you see a lot of ermines on our outfits. And we're actually supposed to, when we get them, we pray to them and ask them to help us with our sneak up dance, with our, right?
Okay.
And then I carry the otters. These are what I wear once my hair grows again. I cut my hair off, so this is we'll be tying these in my hair. And that's why one of the things that we carry are our otters. And they're quite long. Right now I just wear them around my neck because I can't tie them into my hair just yet.
Right.
I gotta let my hair grow again.
Okay.
Yeah. That's some of the furs I wear.
Is there anything in your regalia that we have not touched upon?
Just a deer hoof, I guess. These are just my armbands. I don't know where these came to be or why they're important, but they're just deer hoof armbands. Those are real pretty. I like those. Yep.
And it seems to me that a lot of your regalia is truly all about what you enjoy as a creator, a dancer,
Yeah.
and then that inner artist that seems to be there.
Yeah. Yes. And we all have our own style as well. So we dance our own style. We dance our own. Nobody's styles are the same. We all dance the same dances, but we have our own styles and our own moves and our own. And this is something you pick up as you're dancing. Because last year it was stiff and, like I wasn't really sure of myself. And then I gained this confidence where now I'm trying new things. I'm doing different things, and it's working out. And it's nice to go there and have fun and have a lot of fun. Yeah.
When you're at a competition, when you're at a powwow, what is your goal with the judges, and who are the judges?
They usually pick random people to judge from the crowd, or people they know, or whatever. I don't really know how they pick them. I think it's just random people they choose to judge. I've been asked to go and judge stuff as well when I've been just sitting there at powwow, and but my goal has always been with dancing is to dance for those who can't and dance for the old people, and that's what I dance, and that's why I fashioned my regalia the way I did. I wanted it to be natural. I didn't want any beadwork or anything fancy and stuff, and just so it looked more like something you would see in the past as opposed to modern.
So more of a warrior's type.
The old school type,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I keep with furs and leggings, or my leggings and everything, and yeah.
And what about footwear?
I wear moccasins, yeah, wraps, yeah, yeah.
What is one thing that you would love to tell a young person that's interested in dancing?
First thing I would say is go to a powwow and watch and see what you like, see what you think you would enjoy doing, and what you would be comfortable doing as well. And then I would say talk to whoever you can in your nation that's close to home that might be able to help you. There's a lot of programs at schools and stuff too, right? But and then just start making your regalia and watch YouTube, a lot of YouTube, and you'll learn some stuff, and at least learn enough to go and dance, and then just get out there and dance, and don't be afraid, right? Because I mean, yeah, it's nerve-wracking. You get nervous, and there's lots of people watching you, but when you go out there and dance and you just give her, people notice, and they notice you, and that's what helps you along your journey, is just getting out there and not being afraid to do it. Being nervous, of course, but still doing it.
Not only can you win money and different gifts,
Yeah, yeah.
but it also elevates you within the community.
To some degree, maybe, yeah. You're set apart a little bit, because especially when you come from, well, just depending. Yeah, I guess so, in a sense. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know about social status or anything, but you definitely, people know. They know when they talk about it, right? And the elders know, and that was something I was told, an elder said to me, I notice the things you're doing, and we all notice, and we all watch you. And that was like what I was told, was that we all watch you.
I think that's a very important aspect.
And I thought so too.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when your elders are watching, and encouraging you,
Hmm.
it helps you grow as a
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
obviously with your dancing, but
Yeah.
also as a person, I would believe that it really helps you to expand.
Hmm. I think so. Yeah.
What is, out of the 7 powwows that you competed in this summer,
Hmm.
which one was the most rewarding for you?
Our own. Yeah. It was a traditional powwow, so there's no competition. Um, but I got to initiate with my father. And I also got brought in by my great uncle as a traditional man, as a traditional dancer. And he's been dancing since he was one of the first dancers in Sucker Creek. Um, and it was really cool to be here at home and dancing with my father and then watch my entire family and extended family and my mom's extended family from her side. And they were all there to witness and they were all there to watch. And it was really neat to have my entire family, all my kids and my woman, and uh, and do that so close to where my ancestors are buried, right across from us, right? So it's really neat to do that.
Being part of this First Nation and having such close cultural ties to Treaty 8 signing
Hmm.
and all of those important figures that did what they thought was best at the time.
Hmm.
Um, how does that make you feel as a young man?
I think that I don't know if it was the right thing to do or not, but they did it. So there's nothing we can do about that part. However, I think there needs to be some changes, and we need a little more. We need a lot more culture. I mean, a lot of people need more culture, and I think that's what brings people back is the culture, right? So I think that's something that's really important. Um,
So thinking back to 1899
hmm.
and the decisions that were made then and the renaissance of your culture coming back full force
Hmm.
in ways that it was stunted. Nobody would allow you to
Hmm.
practice your culture.
Yeah.
So now you're being encouraged to pick up your culture
Hmm.
again and to carry that forward.
Hmm.
What do you think your ancestors would think about that?
I think they would be very pleased. I don't like using the word proud, but I think they would be proud of that, right? And I think they would be happy just to see that their grandson, their like I guess of their line, right, would be doing these things and practicing these things that they knew and learning and growing and developing and then passing that further to his children and then their children, their children, their children, and it just continues, right? Yeah. Especially with cultural activities, not just dancing, but like sweating and night lodge and all those other things, sun dancing, and the things that take a lot of work to do as well. Yeah, I think they would be very pleased with that and know that it's not been taken and it's not been destroyed and it's not been outlawed and we're actually doing the things that we're supposed to as First Nations people, right? Indigenous people.